Hey, welcome to Chicagoland Baseball Chronicles. And you know the business. If you woke up this morning, you are winning. This is my co-host Bill Haley. What's up, Bill?
Hey, how's everything going, Bo? Good to see you.
Yeah, we got a good one today. We got Coach Boyd. Hey, you roll out that intro, baby.
Yeah, so our show takes us a lot of times back down to the SWAC. Chicago baseball and the SWACs have a lot of connections, and today's show is no exception. Coach Boyd was the head coach of Southern University in Baton Rouge from 1978 to 1984. Won several SWAC West championships as well as won a couple SWAC championships overall. We're going to discuss some of the memories down there in the SWAC, what led him to coaching, what led him to Southern University. He's an alumni of Southern University also. Discuss some of the rivalries, some of his recruiting stomping grounds, and I'm
Absolutely.
excited to speak to him. I'm ready to bring him on.
Let's bring him on. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Boyd. What's up, Coach? Old school.
Not a thing. Just staying alive.
Just
How you
staying
doing, Coach?
alive.
Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us today, Coach.
All right, thanks for having me.
We really appreciate you coming on and saying all that. We're gonna get right to it because you're a Chicago legend too. How you get started playing ball up here? Because you from here, right?
Yeah, I grew up there, born and grew up in Chicago.
Talk
I
about
didn't
it.
I didn't play baseball until I
No.
was 9 years old, and it happened by accident. All I was playing was strikeout and softball.
Hey, that's
And,
Chicago.
yeah, and I was coming through the golf course out the cat, and this guy was running toward me named John Hubbard, and he asked me how old I was. I told him 9. He asked me was I a member of the boys club. I said no. Told me that I have 50 cents. I said, yeah. He said, come on. And that's when I started playing baseball.
Where was the boys' club located? What were you out south or out west?
64th and Ellis, I believe. 63rd and Ellis,
Over
64th.
east, right over east. Not
Yeah,
far from
Woodlawn
Jackson Park.
Chicago Boys Club.
Not far from Jackson Park.
No, it was I'll say about 3 or 4 miles from Jackson Park.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So playing, you never played. You didn't play in high school. You went to
Yeah,
Hyde Park. Okay.
yeah. Played
So
high school. Once I
okay.
started playing 9 years old, that was a blast from then on. I was playing every year.
Okay. With I was doing my homework, and one of our former guests was a Major League Baseball player and pretty damn good dude. His name was Scipio Spinks. From what I hear, you played with Sip, man.
Yeah, we played together. Not only baseball, but basketball. The boys club would take us to Indiana, all over Indiana to play basketball. And
Okay.
we boys club had better talent than high school kids. A lot of them dudes was dropping out and they coming to the club, the boys club, and we play all over the state.
Okay. How did you get a name for yourself in baseball up here in Chicago? Playing around with Sip, you had to have a name, bruh. You had to have a name.
I played when I was 15, they stopped me from playing with the kids. They put me on that semi-pro team, both him and I, and we had no names because most of the people on that team had played in Negro leagues, college baseball, and they had come out to service and they were playing college baseball.
Okay.
And we were just like kids on the team.
You
So
were
we
playing
have,
with players. How old were these guys? How old were these guys?
oh man, these guys was they played with Lou Brock in '59.
Mm.
Damn. Damn.
Most of these guys played on the same team with Lou Brock in '59.
You playing with grown men.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they grown me.
I caught a guy one time. I caught a guy. Can't remember his name. He played in the Negro League. He was 69 years old.
Stop.
Wow.
Dude was still
Wow.
throwing.
Stop it. Stop it.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, man. Now Scipio was telling us some stories like that. So now you're getting more in depth with it. And you was a back catcher. So
Right.
Scipio didn't play. Sip didn't play every day, Bill. He
He was a
played
pitcher.
every day.
Sip was
Yeah,
a pitcher,
yeah.
right?
Right.
Yeah. Sip was a pitcher.
Was
A
Sip
flame
throwing gas? Was he throwing gas, man?
man. Serious gas. He's way above all the kids we played with. When we was 15, he played on another team. I was on the Mohawks, and he was on the Orioles. And they played us, and they pitched him, bro. 7 innings, he had about 18 strikeouts.
Mm.
He got me 3 times, and he would tell me what he was going to throw. Fastball, Lee. Fastball. Boom.
Mhm.
He was something to deal with, bro.
Now, what park were you playing in? What park were you playing in?
We played in Jackson Park, right across the street from Hyde Park.
At that diamond right there on 63rd Street.
Yeah, and the one behind the field house where Denny McClain played.
Okay, yeah.
Mount Carmel.
Mount Carmel. All the Mount Carmel kids played
Yeah.
right there. Those were the two best diamonds, exactly. Still are. Wow. So there's a lot of games being played up there. What about Washington Park? Did they have the Afro Leagues back then too?
No. We only played it. I played in Washington Park one time. We played Tilden, a baseball game over there. We just played in Jackson Park. It wasn't like you guys had it with baseball where y'all played all over the city and you had the best players playing together.
Right.
We had guys.
Okay.
Right. Because we had a conversation earlier, and some of the guys out there in the audience think that we don't show love to the West Side. That ain't true. We've done at least 5 people from the West Side so far, and we were in collaboration with the West Side. But back in your day, this particular guy, I guess, just from talking to you, it sounds like you guys didn't too much collaborate South and West Sides as far as playing ball.
No, not baseball, but basketball. We played in the boys' club league till I started playing high school basketball. But we would go over there and play the Henry Horner Boys Club, and them dudes were so crazy, bro. You didn't want to play over there no more because you go in and they spitting at you, throwing bottles and stuff. So, you didn't want to play over there. In baseball, we played, I think, Garfield Park. That might have been the name of the play there.
Garfield, yeah.
And that usually they were money games. So I wasn't allowed to play in money games.
Okay. He's grown man. That's grown man business at that time.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So you're playing in Jackson Park. You're playing baseball at Hyde Park High School. What led you to Baton Rouge? What led you to Southern University? And did you consider any other colleges at the time?
Well, I had a basketball offer from Kentucky State.
Okay.
Hey! You should have went there, man.
No. I didn't know any black school until I met all the guys who were playing for Southern University. They became the directors of the boys club.
Okay.
And when I was 13, that's all I knew was Southern University. I get letters from other schools like Southern Illinois, those places like that. I just put them in the garbage, bro, because I was intent on going to Southern University.
Now, before you were enrolled in Southern University, had you been to Baton Rouge? Had you been to Louisiana before?
No.
Oh, so this is an adjustment. Coming from Chicago, Southside to Louisiana is an adjustment.
You think it was? Look at, bro.
I'm very familiar.
I got off the train.
Mm-hmm.
You know how you used to have the big high school sweaters?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I had a sweater on and I almost passed out because it was about 90 degrees in Baton Rouge. I had know nothing about it, bro. I'm getting off in a big old sweater with HP on it. Oh my goodness, I never faced heat like that in my life.
Yeah, it was smoking down there, baby. I had a gut check myself.
So in addition to the heat and the weather, what kind of adjustments did you have to make just being in the South in those days?
Oh, I had to learn how to deal with people who weren't trying to intimidate you. You know, like you go around in Chicago and you don't know nobody, but you say, "Hey, what's up, bro?" And they might come at you like, "Who the hell you talking to?"
Mm-hmm.
But really? Down there, everybody spoke to you. Hey, hello. I had to adjust.
Absolutely.
I had to adjust my
thing. Let your guard down a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
They were a little too friendly, huh?
Especially the girls, bro. You know, in Chicago, them things be rough. Mm-hmm. But down there, them girls were speaking to me, made me think I was Billy D. And I was just a regular old guy walking around.
Yeah, buddy. Yes, sir. Hey, while you down there, did pretty good while you was playing baseball down there, brother, as a back catcher. How did that go, man?
Well, it wasn't just me, bro. I used to bat 7th and 8th in the lineup. Because we got some monsters, bro.
You played with some bad boys, huh?
Yeah, I told you, we had a third baseman that got drafted 6 times. They got drafted because they had 2 drafts each year. Mm-hmm. Our shortstop got drafted #1 by the White Sox in 1970, Lee Richard. We had a center fielder got drafted by the Angels, a right fielder by the Dodgers. Kansas City drafted our second baseman. The Cubs drafted our first baseman. So it was some talent there. Always was.
Right. Now, when you enrolled, who was your coach at Southern?
Emory Hines.
Yes.
Emory Hines. Okay.
Legendary.
Legend. So you guys were down there winning, man, huh?
Oh yeah, it wasn't but 3 schools that had baseball programs that people you would approve of playing for or against. That was Grambling, Southern, and Jackson.
Okay.
Nobody else had won a conference championship until I left. Once I left in '84, then I think Texas Southern won one, Prairie View won a couple, and these other schools that came into the SWAC after I left, like Alabama State and those schools. But other than that, man, well, nobody won the SWAC but us.
Well, what was some? We're going to touch on a lot of memories that you had as a coach at Southern University. What were some of the memories you have from your playing days at Southern University?
Yeah, that was my question.
We were. You had to beat us to win the SWAC.
Okay, SWAC came through Baton Rouge.
Yeah. Now, when I first got to Southern, Grambling was a monster. That was my freshman year. But after that year, they had Ralph Gar had left.
Oh, Ralph Gar was down there. Okay,
Yeah.
right.
And man, we played them. I was a freshman. That dude must have been about 12 or 13. We couldn't get him out. And the ball that he got, we got him out on, hit a line shot to the first baseman. But they had, everybody was loaded. But after that year, it was us and Jackson State.
Okay.
While you guys were playing, by any chance, did you guys play against any of the white colleges during those times?
Yeah, we did. At Southern, we played Nicholls State, Louisiana Monroe, University of New Orleans. But when
How did that go?
Equal, even if we split with them. But when I became coach, I advanced it out, bro. I went to Georgia Tech, Georgia State, Florida State. You know, I went that route because I said this. If you're going to get your kids seen, you got to play these schools that these people are going to be at. And when Danny Goodwin came to Southern, it was a whole different story. Instead of having 1 or 2 scouts at the game, we'd have 20, 25 scouts at every game.
Would
Danny
LSU
Goodwin.
play you?
Talk about Danny. Hold on. Talk about Danny
Okay.
Goodwin. Who is Danny Goodwin? Danny Goodwin.
He was something, bro. He was the first pick in the draft. The White Sox tried to freeze him out of money, so he came to school. And
where was he from, Coach?
He Peoria.
Oh, he's from here.
Yeah, he's from Peoria.
Never heard of him, man. Did he make it to the majors?
Yeah, he made it with a couple of teams, Minnesota. But to me, they punished him because he was the first pick in the draft. He didn't sign. He went to a black university. And then when after he graduated, he was the number 1 pick again. They sent him to Double-A. He had 386, had 28 home runs, and they still didn't move on to the major league when they were sending them other boys up real quick.
So he paid the price for not signing.
Oh yeah, they did, bro. That was natural. But
we've heard that story before.
Yeah, but his play at Southern got 4 dudes into the major leagues.
They played coming to see him. They saw the other ball players.
Yeah, exactly.
Good stuff. Okay, so that's basically how your college career went. But I'm looking, and doing my fact check. You played a little minor league ball got picked up by the Washington Senators. How did that come about?
I was playing some parking with them old guys, the old Orioles again.
In Chicago? In Chicago.
That was it. They had played it. I guess they arranged that game for me because it was a Wednesday night game. They didn't play no Wednesday night because them old dudes didn't do that. And there was this guy out there named Joe Martinez. He was a scout for the Senators. And I ain't never hit 2 home runs in the game. That game I hit 2. Next day he came to my house, gave me $1,000 bonus, which I didn't expect. And they sent me to Geneva, New York.
The New York Penn League, the Penn League.
Yeah. And I got hurt by this dude named Sixto Lescano, who played for the Milwaukee Brewers organization.
Know exactly who that is.
Okay, it had rain and the ground was damp, and I had my legs facing right field. He slid in coming from third and hit my knee, and I was no good after that. Now, I was going to go have the operation, but Mac Lee Hill, a Southern University football player, died on the operating table from the same injury I was going to get replaced. So I said, oh, hell no. I'm going to go back to college, graduate, and try to become a coach.
Okay.
I heard
So
that.
after the injury, you go back to Baton Rouge and then graduate.
Yeah, and then I was a grad assistant for 2 years. Then I became the assistant coach for 3, and
Okay.
then our athletic director became the coach. I mean, our head coach became the athletic director, and he named me as the head coach.
And that was 1978.
77.
77.
Mm.
77. So when you
Right.
get down there, your first tenure as head coaches, you kind of started a Chicago pipeline, my brother. From what I hear,
Yeah.
you had about 7, 8 guys come down there, I know,
Well,
including
I
DeMarlo
had
Hale.
Marlo. I had his brother.
You had I didn't know Meredith went there
Yeah.
after he came from the service. He
Yes.
came after he came from the, because see, I played with both of those guys. I didn't
Yeah.
know that Meredith was down there.
He was down there for 1 year.
Then he went
I
back
tried
to
to
the
get
service.
him out of high school, but he chose to go to the service.
Right. Okay. I didn't
So
know
when he
that.
got out, he came for that year, and they just said he was past going to school. So I said, okay, no problem with me.
Wow.
But I had a lot of kids in Chicago. That was because Ed Woods and James Maryland.
James Maryland.
His son was the #1 pick in the NFL for the Cowboys when they had Jimmy Johnson. He was
Russell,
from
Maryland.
University of Miami.
Yep.
Russell, Maryland.
Yep.
Russell, center yourself in your camera. Your camera got you on the side.
Okay.
There you go. There we go. We got you now, Coach. Right. So you started. You got Marlo. You had Dale Baker. You had Kenneth Smith, who was a former coach at Simeon. You had a lot of Trent, Donald Williams. Wow, you had a bunch of cats going through there, man. So your pipeline with Woods and James, that was pretty cool, man. And you graduated all those cats too. I like that. All those cats.
That was the purpose. Try to get them in there, get them out. But
you were an educator yourself, right? You were an educator.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not an educator. I graduated with a master's. I knew it was important.
Oh, you weren't a teacher there?
No, bro.
Oh, okay.
They didn't require that you teach to be a coach.
Okay.
But if you taught and you got fired, you could have a job there. So I didn't think about getting fired, bro. That wasn't even on my mind. Not knowing all you had to do was find talent to win.
Right.
So, Bo, I think we're leaving out a good friend of mine, Lionel Morrison, Big Lefty.
Big Lefty.
Lonnie.
Lefty was your last recruit too. That's my man.
He was the first time I heard of Simeon.
Stop, man.
I'm
see,
serious.
That's why you didn't see me. That's why you didn't see me, man. See.
And I didn't know Simeon was a high school.
You wrong for that. You wrong for that.
It wasn't when I was growing up. It was like Cooley. Cooley High was real. We played them in the basketball playoffs. They beat us by a point, but their colors were orange and black, and their chilies had them big old afros, half orange, half black. And the school looked like a prison because they had scales all the way up the walls and everything else, bro. Everywhere you went through that.
Coach Boyd, you talked about so now 1977, you come on as coach. 1978, you talked about the scheduling, the changes you made in the scheduling. What are some of the other challenges you faced as the head baseball coach at Southern University? How did you overcome those challenges?
Oh, bro, that was rough. We didn't have no field.
Oh, wow.
The field I played on, they took it over to put the basketball mini dome on. So we had to practice on this field where they got the new stadium built there now, but they didn't have nothing out there. So we had the engineers come out. They made us a infield, but we used to have to practice under the bridge a lot because there was so much rain. And when the rain got on the land, it stayed there.
It didn't drain.
So we had to play. We played all our games off campus downtown at Pete Gosby Stadium. But not having an on-campus facility, it really didn't hamper any of our recruiting or getting players there, because most schools, if you don't have a facility to practice in, kids are not going to come.
Right. Absolutely.
So you say the field was one of your challenges, upgrading the schedule. What other challenges was recruiting a problem for you, or did you have a easy time recruiting kids to Southern?
Oh, this was what I had. I didn't have a hard time recruiting. Every kid that wrote me a letter and said they want like to come out for the baseball team. That's when they didn't have limits on how many kids you could have out.
Mm-hmm.
I would get financial aid papers and send them to the kids, and we would have like I bet you close to 100 kids every fall practicing.
Okay.
And
Really?
yeah, and on Saturdays and Sundays we would play 4 games against other universities. So I gave, it wasn't about winning in the fall. It was about seeing who could play.
Who could play? Yeah.
Yeah, and we played 4 games. And I had 4 different teams. We had a bus. We had a bus, boy, and my kids was crazy as hell. We had a blind school bus. Had a Sunday bus school with a blind on it, and my kids would get off with sunglasses and walk around like they couldn't see, but get off that bus and tear that ball up, bro.
That's good. Uh, you had you had some nice teams down there, but what was some of your memorable SWAC rivalries, man? Rivalries down there in that SWAC.
I tell you, it was just Jackson and Grambling.
Mm.
It
Jackson and Grambling.
Yeah, Grambling, I felt gave us a better shot to being equal. But when we played at Jackson State, bro, if it was a championship game, Eddie Payton would be the umpire, and he was golf coach.
So
Wait a minute.
one game,
Eddie
one game
Payton
I
was
wanna.
umpiring, and wait a minute, hold on, I'm sorry, Bill.
Mm-mm.
Eddie was umpiring, but he was working at the school.
As the Jackson State golf coach, I would always tell Brady, look, bro, you got enough time to beat me straight up. You ain't got to have this clown back here.
So one game that I always remember, Coach. One game I always remember is 1982, the SWAC championship, Southern and Jackson State at Jackson State. Do you remember that game at all?
Yes, I do.
Oh, what happened, Bill? What's
We
it?
got Eddie Payton out there. on the bases.
Yeah. But I would always tell Brady, I didn't mind losing to Jackson as long as Peyton wasn't the umpire behind the plate. Because Brady had enough time to beat you, man.
He
He had
didn't need no
enough
help.
time to
He
beat you.
didn't
He didn't need no help.
No. I remember we played him in 79, and Dennis Oilcan Boy was pitching.
Mm-hmm.
And they had us up 2-1. At the bottom of the night, had a kid named Greg Smith from Los Angeles. He played about 9 years in the Dodgers organization.
Wow.
And then he played the rest of his career in Mexico. He hit a shot off Dennis Boyd, bro. That must have traveled about, I don't know, upper decks of White Sox Comiskey Park. That's how far he hit that ball, bro.
That's a shot there.
Yeah, but see, Dennis was talking. Dennis had beaten us a couple of times during the year, man. I mean, he flamed us out. And he made one mistake. He threw this kid a high fastball, and he nailed it.
Got him.
But Jack State always had that talent, bro. He had a lot of kids from Chicago as well.
Yes, sir.
He had a lot of kids from Chicago as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I always said he was the only coach that I would respect as far as talent that could beat me head up, straight up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because Grambling had issues.
Now,
So I got a player that I want to ask about. Let me squeeze one more in, Bo. I got a player I want to ask about. Coach Boyd, what was it like for you coaching Reggie Williams?
Reggie was okay.
Okay.
He was his first year, he was so quick to make the team. My first thing is I always tell kids when they come in, if you can pitch, you got a better chance to make the team your first year.
Mm-hmm.
And he called himself, because he pitched in high school, that he could pitch in college.
Mm-hmm.
And he was horrible.
Mm.
He's horrible. But then look, one day I let him hit, so I run down third base. I said, "Oh hell, this boy outfielder." Mm-hmm. And he was a great student athlete. He was something that you transpired to have as a coach. A kid that's gonna go get high grade levels, cause no problems, join a fraternity, and just be a great player. And that's what he was.
Okay.
He was easy to teach. Like I taught him how to bunt to the second baseman to beat it out to first. Mm-hmm. And man, he used to do that once a game.
Okay, that was in his arsenal. He had that in his tool bag.
Yeah, he was a hell of a player. Okay. Plus, he was also so academic. He required his academics more than he did anything. Because my first year in school, I learned this myself as a freshman. You taking 15 hours, you're gonna be in trouble. Because it's hard to keep your sense because the school is going on, football, girls. He told me, Coach, I could take 18 hours as a freshman.
Did he?
What? Did he? And
Mm.
that pass was down there 4 points.
Wow. Okay.
He come from an educated family.
Okay. Okay.
His mom and daddy both were teachers. I think his daddy might have been a principal. But Reggie was an exceptional athlete. And once he got to play and he learned how to play, he was something to deal with, bro. Something to deal with.
Very good. And now he's also coaching now also, right?
Yeah, he coaching at Alcorn.
Okay.
I thought he was going to get the job at Southern.
Mm-hmm.
But, that went through a lot of politics and semantics because Reggie kind of kid that would challenge what you say to him.
Okay. Now he's the baseball coach at Alcorn?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he's gonna do well. He's got roughed up the last couple of years, but he's improving. I expect him to be pretty good this year.
Okay, very good.
Speaking of Alcorn, I'm gonna get in trouble if I don't ask you about this, my boy. They're gonna beat me up. You already know where I'm going. My boys from Alcorn say they couldn't stand Southern. They said they had a real good melee going on because y'all used to overlook them. But this one particular time, y'all had an all out melee, man. What's up with Alcorn, man?
Well, Alcorn, I think Alcorn might have beat me one time in 8 years.
Wow.
And what happened was they had this umpire.
Mm-hmm.
He umpired the game at our school, and I complained to the SWAC about him because the guy it was against Alcorn. He was favoring every call to Alcorn. Now, I wasn't going to argue about strikes and balls, but you could see a guy get thrown out by 3 steps. He called him say, talking about kid pulled his foot off the base too quick. And when he was at Alcorn, he go in the dugout between the innings, sit up there and talk to McGowan.
Mm-hmm.
And so one time I went over there to approach him about it. This clown came out with a bat.
The umpire?
Yeah.
No.
They dug out with a bat.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when them Chicago boys reacted like they did. And then some of the fans got involved in it, and then that Leroy Castle, he comes down there whining. Then he didn't know what had happened or transpired. So that's exactly, in my point of view, on what happened. But
Coach Gaston, the football coach?
Yeah. He came down there to try to see what was going on. And I had told him what happened. And he looked at me like we started. But I told him the reason it happened because the rat should have told that dude, don't come in our dugout and talk to me every inning.
Mm-hmm. Like your buddies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that ain't cool.
Mm-hmm.
No, you can't do that. Yeah, my boys, they say you got to ask them about that. You got to ask them. So I fulfill that prophecy.
I know why Alcorn had problems because they couldn't beat us, bro.
And that was it, huh? That makes all the difference in the world when they can't beat you.
Yeah, they had one guy, the guy that beat us. He ended up pitching, I think, several games in the major leagues with the White Sox.
Mm.
He was a right-handed pitcher, and he was tough.
Mm-hmm.
And
my guy who I'm talking about, he didn't tell me they got whooped, but he said he used to light y'all up. Greg, the guy on Facebook. Greg, he was the lead head of the nation.
He might have been, but he wasn't against us. He wasn't against us, bro. I don't remember the marginal teams that you played with that had great players. That didn't come into my mind. If you didn't beat us, I don't remember you.
I guess you heard that, Hammer. Even though he got drafted by the Florida Marlins, but he listened. He probably on fire right by now, man. Hey, but that's what this is all about, Coach. Yeah, you've been very, very informative. What would you have advice for like kids or other coaches that are coaching right now? What type of advice would you give somebody coaching college kids and kids looking to play baseball in college, whatever? What kind of advice you got for them?
I would tell them to play a lot of baseball. That's what it's gotten into. But I see a lot of these organizations now got these travel teams.
Yes.
And travel teams are only going to get people who can pay to play. So I would tell free baseball.
Yeah.
If a kid could just play, he'll be all right. The thing is, what helped me, like I said, was strikeout.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do what each team, like you had to bat left-handed sometimes, right-handed sometimes. That would really help because you'd be focused on the ball. But the way they got it organized now, where you have to be on a traveling team, and only the best
Yeah,
way you pay your money may not get in.
yeah, man. I got my. I'm old school, man. So I stay out because times have changed, but I can't get into it either, man.
Yeah, that's just like that AAU basketball. You know, you
Yeah,
can get a whole bunch of players to play if you can pay, and that leaves the kids who really can't pay. They can play. They get left out.
Do they get left out or do they get priced out?
Yep, that
they get
exactly.
priced out and left out. Both. You exactly. I mean, Bill, no, he's active on it right now. He's very involved with the youth and all these different programs. So he knows. Yeah,
If we'd
it's
had
just
those youth programs when I was growing up, it'd have been a
ooh,
whole lot more dudes from Chicago that made it to the majors.
you're
And we had
absolutely
some
right.
athletes.
Yes,
I like
sir.
on my team, we had a guy named Mitchell McCullough. He was Bernie Mac's uncle. He went to High Park with me. 6'1", had a cannon and outstanding speed. But he graduated and went into the working force because nobody
Wow.
offered him a college scholarship and nobody came to see him to draft him.
Right. Right.
Mm-hmm. Coach, I
Right.
have one more for you. We really enjoyed having you on today.
Okay,
What
great.
What is your connection to baseball now? Are you a fan? Do you attend baseball games, or are you even interested in baseball at all now?
I'm a fan.
Okay.
I pay for the Major League Extra Innings, so I see all the
Everybody.
Cubs games. I see every game I want to see,
Okay.
and I go to St. Louis to see the Cubs and the Cardinals. I go to Houston to see the whoever they playing. So when my travel schedule, I go.
Okay. Okay.
That's good. Well, it's been a pleasure to have you,
Absolutely.
a legend, on this
Yes.
show, and I feel real good about having you here because you've been talked about for so many years, and I finally get the pleasure to meet you, and hopefully we can shed light again and whatnot because we got some stuff we got to clip on Facebook too. We got to get it together.
Okay.
But yeah, I got to get you in on that too, Bill. You got to see it. If somebody was on the West Side,
Yeah.
and we love the West Side. We do love the West Side.
Out
But
west
hey,
290.
y'all,
I got some good friends out west 290.
I didn't have anybody a friend on
Coach,
the
and
yeah, the West
we gonna keep
growing
it
up
nice,
days.
man. We ain't gonna say nothing bad about the West Side.
No, the West Side was rough day, bro. You could you couldn't go over there, boy. Capri Green. I went over there one time, got hit with a PP balloon
Mm.
on the 16th floor.
Mm.
We gonna
So I said,
close it
hey,
out.
yeah,
Hey, y'all, it's been a good one, Coach. Man, thanks for
okay,
coming on, man.
bro.
Hang on for a minute. We're gonna close out the show. We're gonna holler at you. Hold on.
Okay,
All right, man.
all right,
It was like I said,
okay.
it was a pleasure having you on.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. It was a good show, Bill. We pretty informative, man, wasn't it?
So February, Black History Month, and I'm really excited about some of the guests that we're going to bring on because it's really a lot more than baseball. But we are talking about baseball, but we also exposing a lot of history, giving
Yeah.
people an opportunity to speak in a long
Yeah.
form interview that maybe they haven't had before. And
Yeah.
so we prepare for these interviews, but every time we jump on, we find out new information during the interview, just like Meredith Hale. I had no
Right.
idea that Meredith ever set foot on.
Me neither. I had no clue.
I had no clue. So I'm really excited about February. I'm excited about being back on the air. And thank you so much to Coach Boyd.
Yes. Hey, y'all, this has been a good show for you guys. And thank you for watching. We got something coming up next week. Well, no, not next week is the Super Bowl. So we're going to shut it down. And then after that, we probably come on with Hank Lott or somebody. We got a Rolodex of people. So like I say, hey, y'all, thanks for watching. And if you woke, you winning, y'all. Peace. Hey, Bill, thanks, man. We're going to end it.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Coach Boyd.
Thank you, Coach Boyd. Hold on.